Hello, and welcome to Do You Even Cook, Bro? Today we're going to be making some duck fat flour tortillas. They're really easy to make. They're more delicious than butter and, in my opinion, lard tortillas, so let's go. So we have some flour in a mixing bowl here, and we're going to throw in some baking soda, some salt, and if you were smart, unlike me, you would have mixed all those ingredients together first before adding the star ingredient, which is duck fat. You notice it is semi-liquid at room temperature. That's because of its less saturated nature than other fats like lard or butter. Okay, now that we have the ingredients well integrated, we're going to add the warm water and stir the mixture with a fork. This doesn't take long at all, and I just like to do this until the mixture starts to come together and looks like this. So now it's ready to be turned out onto a lightly floured surface or a silpat if you have one. I use one because they're easy to clean up and nothing really sticks to them. So we're gonna knead the dough, and at first you're gonna try to take all the crumbly bits and form it into one solid mass before you knead. And if you've never kneaded before, I am by no means an expert, but it's not that hard. We're basically just gonna squish down the dough with your palm and try to absorb up the flour that the dough needs while turning it 90 degrees. So flatten, fold, and turn to the right. After about 2-3 minutes of kneading, tops, the dough should start to be coming together, soft. Shouldn't really be tacky. It can be nice and smooth as well. You're going to form it into a ball, put it on the counter, and let it rest. Now we're going to portion the dough into equal pieces. You can use a board scraper or pizza cutter. I just used a knife because I was lazy and wanted to use something I could throw in the dishwasher. It should separate easily, and since I only made a small batch, I am only going to get 4 tortillas out of it. The recipe I listed on the site, you should get 8 tortillas. You can easily double the recipe, triple the recipe, cut it in half. So we're going to separate it into 4 separate balls and cover the other balls with a towel so they don't dry out while you roll out the tortilla. Flatten it with your hands here just to get started. Put a little bit of flour if you think it's going to stick to a rolling pin, and roll it out from the center in different directions, trying to keep it even so that the thickness stays the same and you don't have parts that are too thin, parts that are too fat. Now at this point we've got a good thickness, nice and thin and even all around, so I'm done here. I'm just going to pull it off the board, toss it around a little bit to make sure there's no excess flour on there, and then we're going to throw it onto a preheated pan. Now you can roll out the other tortillas while you throw some in the pan, and these are actually small enough where I probably could have done 2 at a time in this big pan, but it's only about 30 seconds aside, so you're going to have to work quickly. Didn't really do much time elapsing here. So flipped it once and it's on this side. I'm going to give the final flip here. You can see usually after the second flip it's only 10-15 more seconds, and a lot of times it'll puff up. And we are done here. So it doesn't take very long at all. And a good way to test to see if they're done is they're obviously going to be a little bit darker from being cooked on both sides. And when you touch them, like I'm about to right here, they're going to be extremely tender. Hopefully not overcooked. And the final product here with some grilled flank steak, roasted cherry tomatoes, and homemade guacamole. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you learned something, and I hope you give it a shot.